Join me, Mr. Snerdley, in the next segment to explain zero rating. This is folks, this is going to be a very, very informative explanation about net neutrality and the past 2 years when it was supposed to make everything fair and just. Hang on. Okay, the tax bill is done, and it's going to be presented, released at 5:30 this afternoon. That means it'll be voted on next week. So it means that all of these senators that had problems with it must have had their problems resolved.
Live from the Southern Command in sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday!
800-282-2882, the email address lrushbo@eibnet.us. Okay, I'm going to take one more stab here at making this net neutrality thing understandable. One of the things we do on this program is make the complex understandable. I want to explain to you what zero rating is. My guess is that a large majority of people have no idea. Let me just take a quick test. Mr. Snerdley, do you know what zero rating in the cable online? Dawn, you know what zero rating is? Brian, you know what zero? Well, I'm going to give you a hint. Zero rating, when I tell you what it is, you're going to say, why do they call it that? And you'll be entirely justified. Now, let me tell you what it is. Let me first tell you that the left hates it. They despise it. They want net neutrality to fix it. The thing is, it happened within the last 2 years. It happened during Obama's net neutrality regulation. The very thing, one of the very things the left hates and thinks net neutrality will stop, happened, and it happened wonderfully. To explain zero rating, let's start with a reality. Reality is that streaming video is the future. Movies, television shows, streaming is the future, and the industry knows it. It's the reason why Disney bought so many Fox properties. Streaming is the future. Streaming without requiring a cable subscription. As an aside, this is why ESPN is vulnerable. ESPN, in order to get what they offer by virtue of a website, by streaming, you have to have a cable or satellite subscription. You don't need one of those with Netflix. You don't need one of those with Hulu. You don't need one of those with YouTube TV. You don't need one of those for CBS All Access. But with ESPN, you can't stream anything they do unless you also subscribe to cable or satellite. ESPN will not be able to survive this way. But that's a different story. The focus here is the future is streaming. It is theorized that cable TV in 20 to 25 years will not exist as we know it, that there will be that much attrition, people abandoning it in favor of streaming video. They'll have different packages they can buy, a la carte. It's just they don't, and the idea of paying for things you never watch, which is how cable structures its business, is finally biting them. It's finally coming back to haunt them. So a number of providers have begun to offer streaming services. AT&T offers a streaming service called DirecTV Now. Hulu has a streaming service. It offers much the same as AT&T, but there are some differences, and the pricing structure is different. YouTube has a streaming service that's rolling out. It's not quite all across the country yet. Comcast is going to start one. A cable company is going to start a streaming service because it's the future. So, but DirecTV Now was, for all intents and purposes, first. I signed up. You know when it comes in handy? I'm a satellite subscriber, too, which is relevant to the story. It comes in handy when there's a thunderstorm here and you can't get the satellite signal. Just fire up Fox News or whatever I want on DirecTV Now. I can watch it on the airplane. I can watch it at home, watch it on a laptop, computer. And if I want to beam it to the TV with AirPlay or something, I can do it, but I don't. But the opportunity is there. Now, I haven't canceled satellite or cable. I use both. But I'm a rarity in that regard. So here's DirecTV Now. The new offering, the new streaming service, are 3 different price tiers that you can buy based on how many channels you want. 35, 65, or everything. Those are the number of channels. The prices are pretty comparable to what cable prices are. They're a little cheaper. And they've added Showtime, they've added HBO, they've added, and these are add-on options you can buy. And as time went on, they offered local stations in your market. The one holdout is CBS. DirecTV Now does not offer CBS because CBS provides it their own selves on their own CBS All Access app. But you can get ABC and Fox and NBC on DirecTV Now. So since AT&T owns DirecTV, they decided on a promotion to lure people into signing up to DirecTV Now, the streaming service. And they said, if you are a DirecTV subscriber, we will not charge you any of your data usage when you use DirecTV Now. When you use our streaming service, if you're a DirecTV subscriber, we won't charge you for the data you use. That's called zero rating. The tech journalism community hated it. They despise it. They think zero rating is unfair because Hulu can't offer it and Comcast can't offer it. And so therefore Verizon subscribers can't get the deal. And T-Mobile subscribers can't get the deal. And Sprint subscribers can't get the deal. Only AT&T subscribers who also have DirecTV can get a data-free usage of DirecTV Now. That is called, it's called competitive advantage. It's not, but to the tech blogger community, they want net neutrality to be able to force the government to stop AT&T from doing that. Why should Verizon customers be punished by having to pay for data if they sign up for DirecTV Now and AT&T customers don't? Well, AT&T is trying to get you to cancel Verizon. AT&T is trying to get you to cancel Sprint, T-Mobile, whatever. And T-Mobile and Sprint are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to get you to cancel AT&T. But these little crumbheads come in here and they want that proclaimed unfair. That's a hell of a deal. If you're an ABC or AT&T subscriber for your cell service and you also have DirecTV, then you will not be charged the data you use for streaming AT&T's streaming service, DirecTV Now. That's a hell of a deal, is it not? And they want the government to be able to come in and stop that. That's not neutrality. That's not equality. Next thing you know, they'll go after Amazon for underselling what you can get at Walmart. It isn't fair. I mean, where does that kind of thinking stop? Everything must be the same price. Everything must be available to everybody. But you had a bunch of Verizon subscribers in the tech community and T-Mobile subscribers. Well, this is not fair. It's not fair. Why should I have to pay for data? And they do. Well, if it means that much to you, cancel your Verizon and sign. I hate AT&T. I don't like it. Well, then don't sign up with AT&T. But I have to sign up with AT&T if I'm going to get no data charges on. Yeah, well, you hate AT&T. What are you going to do? I guess I'll stick with T-Mobile and just continue to complain. So, zero rating. Of course, the name tells you nothing about what it means. but it is competitive advantage. AT&T invested in whatever's necessary to provide a streaming service. They purchased DirecTV from Rupert Murdoch. So now AT&T is their phone network, their cell network, and DirecTV satellite TV, and DirecTV now streaming. They want as many people as they can get using these things, and that's one of the sales pitches. And when I came across, I was stunned when I encountered the anger over this in the tech journalism community. I mean, they were livid about this. But here's the interesting thing. This happened in the last year and a half, right in the middle of Obama's net neutrality. It happened precisely when it was not supposed to be able to happen. It happened while under Obama's net neutrality heavy-handed regulation scheme. And what they wanted was somebody to be able to go to some arbitrator and lodge a complaint against AT&T and to make them stop this because it's unfair. They wanted net neutrality rules to enable them to shut down AT&T's use of zero rating. By the way, AT&T is not the only outfit that does zero rating. Zero rating is a name that describes a certain strategy, sales strategy. It's no different than buy one, get one free, like with the Clintons. It's no different than any other attempt that an entity selling things will try to make it attractive to as many customers as possible. But here come these clowns who weren't AT&T subscribers thinking they were being discriminated against. And so we needed Obama and net neutrality to correct that wrong, to stop this discrimination. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, as I explain this, that virtually everybody in this audience will understand and side with me on this. But I'll guarantee you there are people out there snurdly listening who think that AT&T ought to be strung up and shot for this, that they think it's woefully unfair. It's not right that people who don't subscribe to AT&T can't get that deal. Well, look at the cars people buy. Some cars offer things free, some dashboard electronic devices, services, gizmos. You get what you pay for. And big customers get discounts. It's always been the case in virtually, look at insurance. The larger the group, the cheaper the premium. Volume sales. Nothing's changed here other than AT&T using its advantage and its arsenal. And by the way, DirecTV now is up to 2 million subscribers. They are ahead of where they want to be, largely because I've been promoting them here and there. But look, Randall Stevenson is the CEO of AT&T. He's got some good people. Look, everybody complains about their cell service. Verizon customers complain about it. I have AT&T. There's spots near where I live that it goes dead. And everybody if you travel internationally, you would not believe cell coverage and cell service is so much better and so much faster. Go to Europe, go to Paris, go to any number of places. You'd be stunned. You go someplace. Let's say you're arriving Paris. You hit 10,000 feet. You get your cell signal on your phone. You have to be 1,200 feet flying into Palm Beach International before you can get cell signal on your phone. I don't care what carrier you've got. Everybody that travels internationally comes back and remarks how much better cell service is over there than here. Why is that? Well, it's I have no idea. Oh, speaking of this, there's a news story today. Glad I remembered this. AT&T has begun a giant research project and a test with Georgia, the state of Georgia's power company. And what they want to do is be able to deliver gigabit Ethernet over existing power lines so that they wouldn't have to run any more cable, fiber underground to neighborhoods and so forth. They've been testing this around the world. They're starting to test it here in the United States. It's called Gigabig or Giga something. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a fascinating concept. Find a way to have these power lines already carrying electricity to various places to broadcast Wi-Fi and cellular signals, basically cellular, at certain frequencies, because power lines are everywhere. You wouldn't need any cell towers. Wouldn't matter how close you were to a cell tower. You'd have constant cellular strength. And AT&T is working on this. Now, if Verizon doesn't do it or T-Mobile doesn't do it, are the net neutrality boys going to come along and say it's not fair? That in order to, let's say AT&T rolls it out first. Let's say they succeed at this. And if you want this, you got to sign up with AT&T. The net neutrality boys, it's not fair. It's not fair. I'm Verizon and I can't get cellular service like that. AT&T should not be. That's kind of it's not the greatest example, but this is the way they think. And they want government to equalize all this and take away competitive advantage because it's not fair, because not everybody signs up with the same supplier. Now, I just happen to notice this story. Where I live, they're now burying our electricity wires. So they turn this on, it won't help me. The wires are going to be underground. They're doing this because of hurricanes and winds so that you don't have power outages. Like New York. A lot of New York doing it. Well, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, Snurley. They get to your neighborhood eventually. They're doing it in my neighborhood now. But they're not going to turn it on for years. It's going to take years to get all this buried.